Boo. Okay, hey y'all. It's your girl, Big Legs, and welcome back to the Life of Legs. Yay. It's a new year, y'all. How y'all doing? Did y'all made it through the new year? I hope so. And I hope you had fun. I hope you're safe. All that good stuff. So yeah, we're here in 2024, vibing it out. Okay. Seeing what's different here. Even though 2023 was just a few days ago, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just something about when the year changes, everybody wants to change their life for some odd reason. They want to have a better year, they want to be a better person, blah, 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 blase, blase, like, and I'm here for it. New year, new me. It's like, new year, better me, okay? New year, better me. And with that being said, I realized that before I deleted a whole bunch of episodes, I had some episodes about why I was fans of different people. And I realized this weekend that growing up, I had this thing for listening to artists that were no longer with us, breathing. And the first artist I listened to up until, people had to start giving me other artists to listen to, because I was going to listen to Aaliyah. That's one thing for certain, two things for sure. I was gonna turn Aaliyah on, and Aaliyah died in 2001, so I was 3 at the time, and yeah, it wasn't clicking to other people in 2008 when I was still listening to Aaliyah like it just came out yesterday. Okay, so with that being said, I listened to a lot of Aaliyah. Then I became a Beyonce fan, right? And then shortly after I became a Beyonce fan, Michael Jackson died. And I don't know if you can remember where you were when Michael Jackson died. I can remember where I was. I was in my house and my grandma was yelling about it. She was like, "Oh my gosh, Michael Jackson died," and turned on the TV. Everybody just started coming by my house, and you just had to stop in front of the TV and just, it was what was going on. And everybody, like, because my cousin dropped off his daughter for me to babysit, and when he stopped by, we all had to stop in front of the TV. When his mama stopped by, we stopped in front of the TV. Like, people just kept coming by, and we was all in front of the TV all day. And my grandma just kept saying that he ain't dead. And I'm like, the news say he dead, Grandma. Like, I don't know what other way to tell you. But she insisted that he was not dead. So, yeah. So I had never really listened to Michael Jackson before he died because, my family, we didn't do that. We just didn't bump Michael Jackson. Sorry. But then he died, and they were playing Michael Jackson music everywhere. Like, the gas station, the Dollar General, the Walmarts, TV stations, kids stations. Y'all, I kid you not. So after Michael Jackson died, my uncle, he came, got me and some of my other cousins, and took us back to Atlanta to go to Six Flags. And so, I was studious or whatever, so I didn't have to pay for my ticket. So I wasn't really into riding all the rides because nobody paid for me to be there. I got there just by reading books. And you wasn't about to bully me into riding rides. That scared me. So I was the ball guy. I was the ball guy, ball girl. Okay. I was holding everybody's stuff while they were getting on the roller coasters. So while I'm sitting around, twiddling my thumbs, on every single screen that they had at Six Flags, it was Michael Jackson's memorial service. I think it was either the memorial service or the one where they had it in the park. Either one. But it was on all the TVs, all over Six Flags. And so, I just couldn't help. Curious minds wonder, why does he have the world in a chokehold right now? So I had to go look him up, do my research, listen to his music, watch his music videos, and then I became a Michael Jackson fan. And then you couldn't tell me nothing bad about Michael Jackson. I was gonna argue with you, like, point blank period. He died in '09, so I was only 11. I had nothing but time to sit there and argue with you about Michael Jackson. I'm not gonna do that now though. But yeah. So yeah, from that point up, I was a Michael Jackson fan. And I'm pretty sure I was in like the 5th grade. Okay. So, and then I remember like it was a fight. It was a battle between Beyonce and Michael Jackson. Who got my ear time? Like, who was in my ear the most? Probably Beyonce. But I personally would have preferred it to be Michael Jackson that was in my ear more. But Beyonce was popping. She was moving up in the world in '09. Okay? She went from being Beyonce to Beyonce. Like, Michael Jackson, he gonna be the king of pop for a little minute. Because nobody was doing what Michael was doing. And nobody has done what Michael's done. Beyonce, she up there. She is up there, but she's not the king. She's the queen of, I don't know, she's the queen of pop, R&B, country, rock. Girl, pick one, please, quickly. But yeah, it was B and Michael. B and Michael through middle school. But then by high school, I was like, maybe I should start listening to what other people are listening to. So that way I can know songs that people are singing or people are playing or whatever. So then I started branching out. And, I went to a school that was mainly white kids. Not gonna hold you. So the music I started listening to was mainly on the pop side versus R&B. But that's okay. I balanced out. It balanced itself out eventually by 10th grade. And I remember, I don't know what year specifically. I can look that up for you real quick. But I remember when Amy Winehouse died. And when I was younger, I would come home from school, eat my snack, and do my homework. And by the time I should be finishing my homework, Entertainment Tonight News was on. So I knew all the celebrity gossip. So I knew when Amy Winehouse went to rehab and she said, no, no, no. Like, I remember seeing that. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that when I was younger, and then one day me and my mom would just stop by the store, and I just happened to look down, and it says Amy Winehouse dies at 27. And I'm like, girl, what happened? What happened with the rehab? I was flabbergasted, to say the least. So it said she died in July 23rd, 2011, which checks out. So I was around like 13. And yeah, by middle school, high school, I was in middle school then. So by high school, I started watching Glee. And Glee helped a lot with my music taste. So one song in particular, no, two, okay? Two songs in particular that I loved from Glee. And I think I was watching Glee one night, and they were doing, I want to say regionals or sectionals. And Santana, which was played by Naya Rivera, she was singing Valerie by Amy Winehouse, right? So I'm listening to the song, and I'm like, I think I rolled over in the bed, so I wasn't really watching TV. It was watching me at that point. But I was like, this a little bop. Like, Siri, who made this song? And, found the song. And I was like, oh, it's Amy Winehouse. So then I was like, oh yes, like Santana does this other song by Amy Winehouse, and she was like, oh, I smoke cigarettes in the back alley. That's how I got my voice so raspy. So I wanted to hear a song. Googled that one, like, and I was about to go to sleep, y'all. I ended up that night staying up for hours researching Amy Winehouse and her life because by that time I was maybe 15. So I was like, I want to know what happened with the rehab. Did it help? Did it not? At that point. So, yeah. Became an Amy Winehouse fan. Yeah, by like 10th grade, yeah. And then, who else? Well, let me see. Because I don't want to say it stopped at Amy Winehouse or it took a pause at Amy Winehouse, but I'm pretty sure at some point in time, there was a great pause on dead artists that I was listening to that I found interesting because there were more people living. And I was like, I gotta leave these dead people alone, right? And I was kind of a Biggie fan, not really a Tupac fan, right? So then I was in high school, life was happening. I just went full in on being a Beyonce fan, not gonna hold you. But then my life took a turn, and I just wasn't really, I couldn't get back into the Beehive at that point because when they started throwing CDs at Carrie Hilson, I was like, maybe I need to back up, reevaluate what I'm getting myself into because I'm not throwing CDs at nobody. That could have cut her. You know what I'm saying? That's what my 15-year-old mind was thinking, right? So I backed up. Just started listening to other artists, expanding my horizons. Because Glee had the hits, it had the bops, right? So for a good part of my life, all of the new music I was listening to came from Glee. So shout out to Glee. Shout out to them kids because they played a big number in my life. That's for sure. But yeah, on the Dead People, I think I chilled out on that for a minute. But then I was bored one day, and I just happened to click on this random telenovela called Mariposa de Barrio. And I was like, let me see what this is about, because I don't have anything else to do. Clicked on it. First couple of episodes, I was hooked. And then a couple of episodes more, I'm like, okay, it's a lot going on. I'm having trouble keeping up. Is this a real story? So I'm looking up Jenni Rivera, like getting all of her business because, ma'am, I haven't made a dent in this telenovela and I am stressed out for you. Okay, so how did this story end? Okay, I had to know. Curious minds wonder. So, yeah, I had to do my research. And while I was doing my research, I was, fact checking with the movie and the research and just watching this show. And I'm like, baby, I was crying the whole show. Like, it's 90 episodes. You have me in full-blown tears. On a Wednesday. In the middle of the day. Like, what is going on here? But, it's like that. It be like that sometimes. So, I kept watching. And then part of the telenovela, she has a reality show. And I'm like, oh, I think I read something about that. So I looked it up. It was on Hulu. and it was on Peacock at the time, and so I had both. I'm watching it, duh. Like, let me see if she's really like that in the show. So, you know, just doing a lot of fact checking, a lot of research, deep diving into the Jenni Rivera whole of her life. Like, girl, I had to know. And mind you, I did this level of research with Aaliyah. Started like 5 years old. Like, you give me a computer. I was gonna type in Aaliyah. I was on her website. Baby, I knew everything at that point. Like, I was 5 years old. I remember, and I wrote a letter to R. Kelly. And I was like, I know you love her, and I love her just as much as you do. And everything was misspelled. Handwriting was trash. Like, it never left the album. Like, you know the little booklet that comes with the CDs in the case? Yeah, I wrote it in that part, and I don't think it ever left. But anyways, back to Jenni. So, yeah, I was in a Jenni wormhole. And, you know, during the show, you hear a lot, like, oh, okay then. Oh, let me turn that down. Okay. So, yeah, you hear Jenni, and then you hear Cheekies. So I was like, okay, I need to see if Cheekies is okay mentally, because I was stressed out for both of them, really. Like, if you watch the show, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, it's a lot going on. And it's based on a real story. Like, it's crazy. So, yeah, I had to look Cheekies up too, because I'm like, what's Homegirl doing? Never heard that name before in my life, but let's see what she up to. And then naturally, since she's alive and well and kicking, and she's on social medias, I had to follow her everywhere, because curious minds want to know. Like, after all of that you went through in your life, okay, I need to know how you living. Okay, is you okay? It's really the question I want to ask Cheekies. Are you okay? Like, I would not be. So I'm proud of her for being okay, even if she may or may not be. I don't know. But yeah, she looks like she's doing okay. She got some Grammys, some Latin Grammys. She got other awards. She's going on tours. Got albums, deluxe albums, books, like podcasts, businesses. Like, she just came up with a new business or a new line of fitness clothes the other day. And I'm like, when do you have time? Are you okay? But anyways, I digress. So yeah, I am a person who just is interested in the lives of others. But not as much as I'm not more interested in their lives than I am my own, because I feel like mine is just as interesting, if not more. Like, we're on the same level. But I guess I see it as they're my, mentors. They're the ones who have gone before me to clear the path for me, right? To forge my own path. So they've cleared the path for me. I just got to forge my own path, which is okay too. But had it not been for them, who would I be able to look up to? So, shout out to Aaliyah, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Biggie, Tupac, Amy Winehouse, Jenni Rivera, Cheekies Rivera, Chelino Sanchez. How did he get added into this list? I don't know. See, you see how confused that list is, y'all. Like, it went from one end to another, one genre to another to another. Shout out to Glee, okay? Glee was the bomb.com. And I remember I had a friend, and when it first came out, when Glee first came out, I had a friend, she was obsessed. She had the bag that said Glee on it with the little peace sign. Like, y'all owe her some coins, maybe. Okay? But then we fell out as friends, and I didn't want anything to do with anything she had to do with, so I didn't watch Glee for a while. But then, halfway through high school, I started watching these shows. They're like high school shows. So I started watching Pretty Little Liars. Like, shout out to Alison DeLaurentis, okay? Shout out to her. Okay, boom. I don't know what sound that was. Hopefully it was an applause. Maybe it was laughter. I don't know. I'm just pressing buttons. Let me stop. But anyways, shout out to Alison DeLaurentis and Pretty Little Liars for keeping me entertained from high school through college. I appreciate y'all. Y'all did y'all big one with that. And shout out to Glee for keeping me interested and entertained throughout my high school life. And some of college. I really just rewatch those shows. Maybe annually, biannually. It was biannually. But now it's pretty much annually. Because I'm not in high school anymore. And I'm not in college either. But Pretty Little Liars is always going to be that girl. I'm trying to think of who else. Because, I mean, I love all of the other artists that are still, you know, doing their thing. Like Rihanna. I'm going through my artists on my phone. So bear with me. You know, Meg Thee Stallion. That is homegirl. Like, that's homegirl. Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey. Like, most of the people I listen to now, they're still living, basically. But they have yet to, you know, catch my interest, my curious mind. Because I feel like my thing with, like, people's lives, especially, like, entertainers, they do something really cool. Like, they can sing, or they can dance, or they can do acting, or whatever. They have a thing that they get known for, and then they either just do a whole bunch of other shit, or they just stay in that lane and die in that lane. But it's the whole story in between. How'd you get to that lane? How'd you rise to fame? And how did it become your ending? Like, if you were just a garbage man. If Michael Jackson was just a garbage man instead of Michael Jackson, would he still be alive right now? Probably. With good benefits and a good paycheck. But, you know, life had other plans for him. He had another calling. All of him and his brothers and sisters were singers. But Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. Reby, she Reby. Janet is that girl, but Michael is Michael. Tito is Tito, but Michael is Michael. Michael is in history books. Okay? That's important. That is important. And I want to be important too. I want to be in history books. Is that bad to say? I want to be in history books. I want to be important. I want to find my lane and conquer it. I want to answer my call. Because all of these people have a call on their lives, like, obviously. And they answered the call, and then they answered another one to go maybe be with the Lord, or, maybe to do another business venture, or go make a movie, or whatever. Like, they just answered a whole bunch of calls. They had a lot of things going on. And when their time is up, their time is up. And nobody could prevent that. But it's the way that they live their lives, the way that they handle their calling on their lives. Like, Michael Jackson had a big calling on his life. He had a big impact. Like, he could have ran for president, maybe won. Pretty sure. Like, that's crazy to me. And for me, like, in my mind, Jenni Rivera was that girl, right? So when she passed, like, well, from the documentary series, right? Guy was like, the day she passed, he went to the airport. Everyone was quiet. It was silent. So she had a big impact, is what I'm saying. Like, she could have ran for president too, of the U.S. or wherever she wanted to, and she probably could have talked herself to it. But we all have an appointed time to be born and an appointed time to leave this world. And what she did with her impact in between all that, it still stands for her, right? Michael Jackson's impact still stands. Because people are still chasing his impact rather than chasing their own purpose, right? Because if you're chasing your purpose, you'll have impact. It just comes naturally. Like, people compare Bad Bunny with Michael Jackson. And I'm like, if Bad Bunny was obsessed with getting numbers, getting people to come out to see him, pretty sure he would make music in English. Like, I don't know if he speaks English or not, but I'm pretty sure he does. He was dating Kendall Jenner, I think. But, yeah, if he wanted to, he would. He's just doing what he want to do because that's what he want to do. If you want to understand him, you do that. Because people are like, oh, I don't understand Spanish. Well, learn it. And then you will. But knocking somebody else for, doing what they do when it's not affecting you, it's crazy. Because those who get it, and those who don't. And if you're part of the people that don't, well then, either you get it or you don't. But comparing him to Michael Jackson and his impact doesn't really matter, because those who got it with Michael Jackson, they got it. All them people that would show up for him, they had it then, right? Plane tickets were cheap. Gas was cheap. Everything was cheap. They could travel. Excuse my stomach, y'all. But, baby, traveling just to go to a concert in 2023, that sounded insane. Like, your money is long. But in 2024, I don't know, things might change. Pockets might change. And if you can impact people in their lives to make them want to show up for you, then that speaks more of your character, of your morals, your standards, your values, and anything. So, I guess these people, I can see their values, I can see their morals, I can see their impact, because they impacted my life. Like, Aaliyah impacted my life in that she kept me entertained for a long time, right? Because when I first, I guess, heard her sing and saw her sing, I was like, oh, I want to be just like that. Like, I want to do that. That seems like a cool job to do. I want her job. And then I would just listen to her music and imagine myself singing her songs. And then it just went from there. But with Beyonce, she's still alive, so she can still sing her songs. I mean, if Beyonce ever wanted to, have a duet battle, like a karaoke battle, sis, I'm going to win. A Beyonce karaoke. I'm going to win with Beyonce. Call her. I don't know. I'm going to win a Beyonce karaoke. Just because I can battle her. I can prove myself. I don't have anything to prove, but when I was younger and practicing to prove myself, I felt like I had to prove myself. Now that I've done all that practicing, I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to back up nothing I'm saying. It's either you with it or you're not. So if you want to, get beat at Beyonce karaoke, call me. I would gladly whoop your ass in Beyonce karaoke. But anyways, I just kept feeling like I just needed to share that part of me. I love people with interesting lives. Like, if you have an interesting life, I'm going to either ask you questions, or if you're a person that I can look up, I'm going to look up. I'm going to look you up. Sorry. But it also has its downfalls that I learned. Because it's one thing to do research, and it's another thing to lurk. And me, baby girl, I be lurking. I used to. Okay, but then I had to check myself before I wrecked myself and say, hey, if I don't want anything to do with Tom, Dick, and Harry, then why am I in Tom, Dick, and Harry's business? See, it didn't make any sense. So, I don't care about Tom, Dick, and Harry's business. I don't care to be in it. I don't care to know about it. I'm going to leave Tom, Dick, and Harry to be Tom, Dick, and Harry, and I'm going to be Big Lex. And I'm going to worry Big Lex's business. So, yeah, I ended up stopping the lurking. That, and my therapist told me to stop doing that shit. And she told me just like that, like, stop doing that shit. And I'm like, okay. But anyways, I'm going to get out of y'all's hair and let Tom, Dick, and Harry be Tom, Dick, and Harry. Okay, you go be the best you can be in 2024. I put on my Instagram yesterday, I was like, 2024, year of whore, okay? And that don't mean to go just spreading your legs and opening up your badussies everywhere, no. That means be open, be ready, and go get in your bag. So, yeah, 2024, year of whore. Whatever whore means to you. Just know that I'm not hoeing around. I'm not a hoe. Not anymore. But once upon a time, not too long ago, I'm just playing. Anyways, y'all, peace and chicken grease, and it's 2024. If you have been listening to my podcast and you go fuck up somebody else's day after listening to me tell you not to and ask you not to politely, that's on you. But I just need you to not go fuck up nobody's day. And I hope y'all enjoyed listening to my stomach growling this whole time. Okay, bye.